Welcome to Folk and Myth, everyone. We are here tonight with some returning faces and some new faces that have never appeared on our channel before. Look at all of these lovelies. Yes. Bunch of amazing people that are here to play some Daggerheart with me tonight. We are starting up a new campaign arc called Souls of Wrath. That title will probably make sense in a little bit, but before we, get to all of that sort of thing, I do have to go through a little bit of housekeeping, a few shout-outs that we always do here on stream as we begin our game. For those of you that may not know me, I am Miko, otherwise known as TheOkayestGM, and I am one of the co-founders here at Folk&Myth, and we do all kinds of cool stuff on our channel, somewhat dark many times. Tonight, just for a fair warning, tonight's game could get a little bit painful. We also really love to shout out some of the people that help us through things, not the least of which is our amazing moderators, Varl B. Gem and Raven Sarah Knight. Amazing mods who will be in the chat at some point tonight, but as I understand it, they're running a little bit late for various reasons, and that's okay, because it's usually chaos in our chat anyway. But love those two, particularly. They are amazing individuals. Please pass on the love to them when you see them. Also, huge shout out to Tim over at Tabletop Audio. Tabletopaudio.com does some amazing background music, ambiance, musical tracks, and scores for all of your TTRPG needs, as well as a lot of other things. You should check them out on their website because they do they have hundreds of tracks that are available for free for you to use. And if you do get on their Patreon, they have even many hundreds more alternate variation versions of all of their tracks. I think the last time I counted, they were up to over 2,400 different audio tracks, which is insane. It's just nuts. But you should definitely check them out as well. Tonight, you may have also seen in our intro an animated graphic scene from Shepeku. Shepeku are awesome for the maps and artistic scenes that they create, so please support them whenever you can. Tonight, as I mentioned earlier, we are playing Daggerheart. For those of you that have been hiding under a rock for the past 6 months, Daggerheart is a new system, relatively new system made by Darrington Press and the amazing folks over at Critical Role. Loving this system so far. It's got a lot of narrative flow to it and a little bit lighter on the mechanics while still having just enough mechanical flair to be fun. So yeah, you should definitely check out Daggerheart if you are interested in games that are not D&D that can give you tons of awesome vibes. Welcome in, Moxie Blue. Thank you for the follow. Love Daggerheart. Excited that you are here. Thank you so much. We are, in fact, using a custom campaign frame that I created with a friend of mine named Ron for this particular game. I've been running it for in-person games as well. It is called The Withering. That may show up in a space that you can download and use yourself in the future. We shall see. But the important thing that you should know is that this world in which our friends here are playing in is not what it is supposed to be. It is a lie, in fact, a lie created by some powerful individuals known as Sin Lords, and these fine individuals must fight the corruption of the Sin Lords and of the world in order to survive. We shall see how long they last. You can also take part in tonight's game if you wish through the donation of bits. If you donate bits, you can choose, for 200 bits, you can choose a player to donate a dream mote to. That gives them the ability to use such a dream mote for certain advantages in the game. For my players, just so to catch you guys up on this, you can spend a dream mote to cancel out a disadvantage that you may be rolling to a particular check. Just so you know, disadvantages are going to happen a lot. So keep that in mind. You could also spend 2 motes to gain a hope, or use of however you would normally use for your hope and the various things that you can do with your hope. We will get into some of those things in just a minute, but I would like to actually have all of these fine people give us a little bit of an introduction for themselves and the character that they are going to be playing tonight. I'm going to call one of you out completely at random. I promise you I did in fact roll it randomly earlier today. You can popcorn it over to whoever you would like after you finish. Tot, would you please kick us off by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about your character?
Yes. Hello, I am Tatiana. My pronouns are she, they, and today, and for the next 3 sessions at least, I'm going to be playing Malia of the Hollowed Crag, who is a Wanderborn Qatari warlock. You'll see that she's quite the unconventional warlock, let's say, and I'm very excited to be playing her for the foreseeable future. Let's see.
Choice of warlock in this particular setting was quite interesting as well because of the subclass that she chose. We'll get into that in a little bit. Who would you like to popcorn it over to?
I will go ahead and popcorn it over to our mushroom friend, Danny.
That's me. I knew this thing would get the attention, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Danny. I go by CGDannyB online. And for this series, I will be playing Ropo, the Wildborn Brawler. We had some ideas for the character, and then we said, you know what? What if I punch things really good? I saw the numbers, team. I want to punch some things. Watch your kneecaps. I'm very excited. He's going to be maybe not cute in this role, but he'll be here. He'll be having fun. So with that, Zach, your turn, Bubba.
Hi, everybody. I'm Zachary Vaudo, and for this series, I am your Slyborn Emberkin Syndicate Rogue, Yuri Lightburn. He's the one that knows the guy that knows the guy. Very useful in a world like this. I'm looking forward to it. It's my first time playing Daggerheart. Aya, how about you?
Hello everyone, my name is Aya. I will be playing Antar of the Hollowed Crag, the Infernus Call of the Brave Warrior, Warborn. He is very much the loser, but in parentheses, affectionate. Hopefully he doesn't die.
Hopefully he doesn't die. So now that you have introduced your characters, I would like for all of you to please roll 2d6. And while you get the totals for those 2d6, no modifiers or anything like that, just roll the number and keep that to yourselves for now. I'm going to talk to everyone a little bit about the game that we are playing. So in our world, which I have already described a little bit as having been filled with lies, there is rampant corruption that exists throughout it, thanks to the sin lords that have brought their selves and their images of lust and wrath upon it. This corruption has spread mercilessly throughout the world, reshaping not only the landscape but the peoples themselves. Different parts of the world will provide very unique and interesting aspects for the various creatures that inhabit those spaces. I think that you'll get to see a little bit of that unique flair in tonight's game with some of the characters that are being played tonight. But consequently, that corruption comes with certain issues, as it were. Not the least of which is, mechanically speaking, for every 3 points of corruption that our companions here possess, they have to choose one of their ability scores to be rolled at disadvantage until they can clear said corruption, which so far they have not discovered how to do. And if they reach a certain threshold, that can make it even more complicated through sin scars and all kinds of other crazy fun things that we'll get into if we need to. So just so you know, ladies, gentlemen, whatever number you rolled on that 2d6, that's how many points of corruption you are beginning the game with today. So I hope you rolled well. Aya, how many points is Antar getting with? You did.
Antar has 5.
5.
Yeah.
So you need to pick one of your traits. Mark that so that you know that you are rolling disadvantage on that trait. Danny, how about Ropo?
Ropo got a 4.
Okay. He also is marking 1. Tot, how'd Malia do?
I'm sure Malia's fine. Tot rolled 2d12.
Oh.
So Tot's going to re-roll that.
It was 2d6.
It was 2d6.
Tot was playing hard mode.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, no, let's find out what that actually is, guys. That's 5.
Okay. And Zach?
Now, I just want to confirm, am I taking the total number between the 2d6?
You are.
Beautiful, 10.
You are marking 3 traits. You rolled at disadvantage. And
I told you all earlier I was going to start with corruption.
You have a sin scar. When you reach that threshold of 9, it means that you cannot go below 9 at any point until you atone for your sins.
Perfect.
Zach's going to need some help, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to throw out the bits message in chat once again, because it's going to get real interesting for Zach. Let us talk a little bit about Zach. You just got a hail from Ava, so that's 1 mote for you.
Beautiful.
For now.
I rolled 2 5s.
That's the way it works. Let us talk a little bit about life in Morvain Kroll. The air of Morvain Kroll never cools. Heat seeps from the stone beneath your feet, from the molten rivers that cut through the ash plains, from this volcano that sits beneath the massive spires that make up this metropolis-like city. This immense structure that ascends into the very heavens is constantly filled with pain, with wrath. This place that never rests always smells and tastes of iron and smoke. Whether you are in the highest of spires or the deepest of tunnels, it is a city that always hums with the sounds of struggle. Whether it be chains holding some back, whether it be the pounding of hearts that resonate throughout, or maybe just the swing of hammer or blade. It is said that the city itself lives, that its veins are the rivers of lava that flow through the mountain beneath. But truly, it is the clash of steel and flesh that echoes unending, that gives Morvain Kroll life. You see, here pain is not a curse, it is a creed. Every Wrathborn learns from birth that endurance is holiness, that strength is purity. Scourge Tyrant demands nothing less. To bleed is to worship them. To scar is to remember your worship. To fall and rise again is to prove one's worth. Even the air here seems to test those that live, pressing them down, daring them to falter. For all of you, when it breaks you, when your fury finally burns out, The Iron Saints are there to mend with salves and suffering, so that you may rise once more to serve. From the Crucible Warrens below to the Throne of Cinders above, this tower city is an empire of struggle, but also order, built on the fires of passion. Whether you are a laborer toiling amongst a furnace, an artisan forging a blade, or a warrior training your body to tremble with exhaustion, you exist in this life. In the Blood Ring districts, the cries of combat drift upward, like hymn, like prayer. Every battle is watched, every victory is praised, every defeat an offering to the tyrant. Even something so simple as trading in the market is battle, struggle. Underneath all of this discipline lies an ache that those born in this realm of wrath cannot name. In the silence between hammer strike, in the stillness after battle, something stirs. Something forbidden, even though no one knows why. There's something that drives certain individuals to be more than the sum of their scars. Those are the individuals that you see before you. Memories of laughter that wasn't cool, of warmth that didn't burn, a sun that can only exist in dream. These are the quiet heresies of Morvain Krull that these four individuals now live with, suffering under the ash of this place, with the ever-present Scourge Tyrant high above all, watching from his throne of obsidian flame. His city is perfect. His order is absolute, or so he believes. Deep within the walls, through the cracks of molten stone, a new fire has begun to spark. Small, fragile, but perhaps, maybe, getting a little bit brighter every day. I would like for each of you to please describe your character's physicality. What do they look like? Who are they? How do they present themselves in this world of pain? Don't worry, we'll get into where they're at in just a few moments. But before we do, I think it would help paint a picture of who they are. Danny, would you please begin for us?
Whew, absolutely. So much shorter than the rest of the crew, standing maybe 2.5 feet tall, is this small fungrel, a small mushroom man. He is much darker than I think the typical fungal would look. It's shades of gray, a white underside to his mushroom cap, completely blacked out, as he has these red bandages kind of wrapped between his fingers and a scarf around his neck. On top of the mushroom cap, a bunch of white spores that you see, but also a very predominant, just like white scar that looks like a blade had cut through. He carries himself in a very distinguished way, something that I think is very uncommon. Someone who is very thought before action, and might seem out of place at the start.
Would you please continue for us.
Malia is blonde with this sort of longish, wavy hair that's often pulled back. She wears clothes that are clearly scavenged in some way, intentionally too big for her to make her look bigger than she really is. In reality, she's quite lithe and thin. There isn't much need for musculature or physicality doing what she does. And her eyes are lightless, but piercing, like a dagger with no light to shine upon it. But they're green, like the ivy of forest she's never seen herself. She never looks like she's smiling, but sometimes, if you look for long enough, there's just a quirk of the lip. Amusement more than true joy, but you have to find things to be content with in a life like this.
And Zach? What does Yuri look like?
Yuri stands at about just under 6 foot. Skin, in a matter of speaking, colored of char and lava. Has a perpetual eminence of heat coming off of him. He tries to repress the outward flames much as he can. More of a style choice really than anything else. It's not for minding his surroundings, it's more of the clothes that he wears. Far too nice to char and burn on a regular basis. They don't exactly make them fireproof. He is probably dressed the most expensive of the group here. Money may not be much of a mind for this realm, but well, there's still a matter of taste. He's got a blocky kind of body, and peeking out from his coat is the edge of a circular blade. It's about 2 hand widths wide, that he tends to run one smoking finger along idly, especially when he wants to make a point.
Aya, would you please tell us about Antar?
Antar is quite small in stature and some might say even presence. His skin is of a muddied olive. His eyes are annoyingly bright orange, surprisingly matching the brightness of his orange hair. However, there's a light white streak here and there towards the front of his bangs. His clothes, if you could call them that, messed up rags and ripped and torn to shreds, with the only nice thing is his armor. His face is tattered with scars, and there's a fresh one across his cheek that he just lets sit there. And there's a shit-eating grin on his mouth.
The heat is unbearable for many in the arena of chains. The arena floor shimmers slick with molten dust and the blood of yesterday's warriors. Above you, thousands chant the same word in perfect rhythm. Wrath, 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 wrath. It is a heartbeat of devotion. Every strike that has ever landed in this pit still echoes in the stone. The gate across from you opens with a groan, and the air changes dramatically. What steps forth is not a woman anymore. Her skin is cracked obsidian threaded with red haze. Her hair writhes like smoke from her head, almost as if a burning flame is underneath her skull. Iron has melted into her body, reshaping her into something both statue and fury. The Iron Saints call her Miracle, the proof that wrath perfected the flesh. But when she lifts her head, there's nothing left of who she once was. There is no fear, there is no mercy, there is no self. Only the Scourge Tyrant's gift made manifest. A soul that is burned until only wrath and fury remains. The chains that crisscross above you rattle with the power of the crowd as their chanting rises into a scream as she emerges. And a bell tolls once, heavy as judgment, as this wrath witch surges forward at you, Tar. For what it is worth, your companions that have been with you for these many weeks since your awakening have also found themselves in this pit. Whether they perhaps wanted to or not, they know that they must help you with this latest struggle that you have been put up against. Someone claimed by wrath must either claim someone else or must be put down, and Antar, that is now your and your companion's responsibility. Unfortunately for you, the Wrath Witch is fast, and in a blink of an eye, she surges the distance across the arena and slams into you with relentless capability. Unlike most combat encounters that occur in Daggerheart, you do not get to take the spotlight first against a Wrath Witch. She does. And so on this first turn, she is going to swing out with her arms of molten iron at you, Tar. That is a 22 to strike you, which I'm fairly certain is higher than your evasion. Yes. I need for you to make a strength reaction roll, and you also have 31 points of damage incoming. Now, I'm assuming that you're going to use at least one mark off in armor to reduce some of that threshold.
Yes, indeed.
What did you get on your strength reaction roll?
A 17.
With hope or fear?
With hope.
Okay. You do not gain hope on a reaction roll, but it is important to remember that in this campaign frame, your reaction rolls, I need to know whether or not you succeeded or failed with fear, because it has an impact. In this particular case, you did succeed, and you did succeed with hope. So while you are flung away from where you had been standing with such velocity that it would easily knock someone probably to their death, normally you are able to flip through the air and basically land upon your feet, skidding to the ground, perhaps digging your weapon into the ground to slow your momentum and prevent you from being slammed into the far wall. However, you still took that damage. And because she hit you, she gets to feed on Fury in this moment, and she is going to then, I have to spend spend one of my 4 fear for this. She is going to cause a lashing tempest, and that is going to actually affect everyone within close range, which is all of you, except for Antar, who just got knocked away. So for all of the rest of you, I still have to do an attack roll here, so that is a 19, which I'm assuming is going to hit all of you, and this will be 19 points of physical damage to all of you. Now, for those of you that are new, Danny and Zach, you compare that to your thresholds. If it is above your your severe threshold, then you have 3 points of hit points coming at you that you can mark armor off to reduce. If it is below that, but higher than your minor threshold, that's 2 points. Let's see.
So you mark a point of armor to
Reduce the
point of...
to basically act as a hit point for you.
Gotcha. Is that all or nothing, or can you split them between?
Well, you can only ever mark 1 point of armor, unless you have a special ability that says you can mark more than 1.
Got it. Good to know.
Yeah. Was that 19 points higher than anyone's severe threshold?
No.
Okay. So all of you mark at least 1 hit point, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So since all of you marked 1 hit point, I need for each of you to please make presence reaction rolls. Not you, Aya. You did not get struck.
That's not good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not good.
And don't forget any of your disadvantages that you might have. A disadvantage is a d6 subtracted from your total. If you get an advantage for any reason, that is a d6 that it gets added to your total. But just keep that in mind. What'd you get, Todd?
Oh, I got an 8 with fear.
Amazing. So that is a failure with fear, which means that you gain a point of corruption. You also mark a stress on top of that.
Can do.
Danny, how'd you do?
I got a 13 with fear.
That is also a failure. So you gain a point of corruption, and you mark a point of stress. How did you do, Zach?
21 with hope.
Okay. That is a success, so you do not suffer any ill effect from that. However, what I will say is that as she lashes out with this tempest of iron and just gashes at each of you, you can actually see that every injury that she inflicted upon you and your 2 companions with that particular action seems to have bolstered her to some degree. You don't know exactly what that means, but she seems to feed on that fear from your companions, and it seems to cause her to become more fearsome in that act.
Okay, and storyteller, just to confirm.
Yeah.
It's for every 3 points of corruption you get a disadvantage in a trait, or a -1 in a trait. All right, so that's another trait for me.
Yep. I would also encourage you that if that does happen, you should take the disadvantage in whatever the reaction roll was that caused the impact. And so that was presence in this case. So I would encourage you. You don't have to, but storytelling-wise, it makes sense that your presence is what is impacted by that. Danny, that also puts you at 6, does it not?
It puts me at 5.
Oh, puts you at 5.
So
okay.
I'm still good for now.
For now.
Don't hit me again.
Well. So I'm not going to spend a hope a fear and reactivate her. I'm going to pass the spotlight to you all. Who would like to take the first spotlight?
Well, if no one jumps to it, I think you all see the way that Malia's eyes follow as Antar is thrown across the Colosseum, the pit, as it were. And there isn't much of a reaction. The hit from this lashing out of fury seems to annoy her more than she's willing to show pain. You would say she's within far range, yes? Within far range?
You are within close range to the Wrath Witch.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. There's this red sheen in Malia's eyes, and she doesn't say anything. It's an aura that starts to come off of her, and I'm going to cast Terrify on the witch.
Okay.
So I'm going to make my spell casting roll.
Excellent.
Yeah, that is a 15 with hope.
Her difficulty is 15. It is
Pizza,
with hope,
pizza?
so it is with hope, so you gain a hope.
Sensational. Okay, so the spell Terrify, on a success, the target marks 1d4 stress, so I'm going to go ahead and roll that. So she can go ahead and mark 1 stress.
Okay.
And then I can choose to make the target run 1 range away from me. So yeah, is she close or very close?
She is close to you.
Okay, so I'd like her to go from close to far from me.
That will put her actually far from all of you in this case. She's basically going to surge back away from you in response to that.
Perfect.
Oh, actually, no, I apologize. She was very close with the 3 of you. She was close to Antar. And
okay,
so
I move her to close range.
Yeah, you surge her back away, so that's going to put her far away from you, Antar, just so you know. And so as this burst of rage and fury manifests around you, what does that look like, being a warlock of wrath?
It is not dissimilar to the magic that's coming off of this witch, both in color and in ferocity. It is a similar hue of red, but not quite the same. There's a clear difference in the magic, but it's clearly being tapped into from the same source. And it's like this of energy that bursts from her center, pushing this witch back.
And as it pushes this witch back, she is propelled kind of against her will, pushed away from you. And she doesn't seem to, like, she has no face for you to really see a reaction from in that instant. But her body language is such that she is like flaring out her arms and seems to seethe with the righteous fury that is within her in response to that rebuke that you have evoked upon her. The crowd kind of erupts at this contest where she surged in and just lashed at all of you with such viciousness, and you used your righteous will yourself to almost rebut that aggression. You still have the spotlight since you succeeded in your task. So who else would like to take an action then? The spotlight is on your side of the table.
Now, do actions all happen sort of simultaneously, like in other games, or are they sequential?
It's a little bit more narrative flow. If it
Okay.
makes sense for things to happen simultaneously, then we have that luxury of things. But also bear in mind that another option that you have available to you is if you spend 3 hope, once per game session, you can choose to team up with one of your compatriots, and both of you take a simultaneous act that can have huge benefit.
Got it.
You all started with 2 hope, by the way, in case I forgot to
Yes.
mention that.
Can those hope be shared across, or does just one player have to spend
One
the
player
3?
has to spend
Okay.
the hope, and then that player is starting the tag team and declares who they would like to go do that with. Also, you can only initiate a tag team once per game session, but you can be part of as many tag teams as there are players.
Cool.
I think I'm just going to look down to Ropo after this witch skitters back and just go, "We'll get in there."
Oh, okay. I got her. If she's being pushed back, Ropo is going to roll up his very leafy sleeves and just kind of march after her as the witch has been pushed back, and just go for an unarmed strike.
So
I guess just in her shin area, or whatever you want to call her lower torso.
Yeah, it's more like almost like metallic snake-like lower body, lower form instead of legs. You have no idea what she was in life, but it's irrelevant now, given what she has been molded and formed into. And so she's within close range for you, so you can actually do that. You don't have to do any kind of a roll or anything to close in and still take an action. You charge in and go ahead and roll your unarmed strike.
Sweet. All right, that is a 20 with fear.
Okay, I will take that fear. It is a success, so you will hit her. So you will get to deal some damage, but something is going to happen after you do, just FYI.
Yeah, sounds all right. Then I guess, it's dangerous. Okay, before I roll damage then, I would like to use combo strikes.
Yeah.
So I'll roll, it's my D4, and just try and do a little more damage on that. That's a 1. So I guess I'm trying to think the best way to organize this. Should I roll the damage and then just keep rolling if I roll higher?
Yeah.
I guess for demi plane here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do this then. Let me do my damage. And then I'll roll. So if I have the second roll as equal or greater, I'm just re-rolling the same damage again.
Yes. Yeah, isn't it just the dice that you roll though?
I think. Yeah, so you roll your combo die if the value of second is equal. Continue rolling until the latest combo die is less than total all rolled values. So I'm just adding the combo die to it, correct?
Yes.
I'm not redoing the.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do the damage die once, right? You rolled your damage die. You rolled your 1 on your D4, so that you're adding 1 to your total of your damage. Now you roll your combo die again, and if you get 2 or higher, it adds again, and then you roll again.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Then just the 1 extra. So it'll be 25 damage.
Okay. And you did mark a stress for using your combo strikes, yes? Okay. So 25 damage against her is not enough to do severe damage. So she takes 2 points damage.
Yeah, I think Ropo just tightens the bands around his knuckles and just comes in and just whop, 2 just amazing punches right into the body of the snake as he watches her take that damage and recoil to whatever degree. I'm like, okay.
As your fungal fists connect with her body, you feel pain in your hands from the impact of that. It hurts you, not enough to do damage, but just thematically, it hurts you. And even though you see a crinkling of her iron skin underneath of the impact, she does not seem fazed by it at all. And so the spotlight passes back to me. She looks down on you, and she is going to, at the start of her turn, you see her body kind of crack in various places and a red, almost lava-like glow emerge from those cracks as she becomes Wrath incarnate. And so she basically rages in response at this point. And that gives her advantage on attack rolls.
Yay.
So she is going to actually be able to strike you twice with her relentless power. And the first attack against you is actually, that's a low roll. I got a 12.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
With the advantage. That one misses?
Yep.
Okay. The second one is a 17.
That one will hit.
Yeah. So with a 17, so the first strike, we'll say, is from like a couple of the iron appendages out of her right side that swoop down next to you, and like you duck out of the way and they bury themselves in the ground, and as you are distracted by them, her iron arm swings out from behind you and just slams you square in your back. That's 24 points of damage coming in at you. Yes?
Oh my God.
When an ally within close range takes damage from a target I can see, I can make a spellcast reaction roll against the target.
Okay. To do what?
To deal them damage.
Oh, cool.
In response to them doing damage to my ally.
Perfect. So to go ahead and make your spellcasting roll then.
Yeah, and I also mark 1 stress for this.
Okay. I'll also encourage you guys to remember you have experiences. You have to spend hope to use an experience, but if you succeed on a check in which you spent hope to add an experience, you can gain a memory shard that can be useful later. So.
Okay.
You know, now that you mention that, I want to use my experience frontliner to give myself a +2 to this roll. Okay. It seems fitting at this juncture. So I will spend a hope to use that to give myself a +2. Yeah, it should only be +2. Oh no, it's +4 because of my spellcasting.
Yep, because you add your spellcasting trait as well.
Yeah, so that is a 18 with fear.
Okay, that is a success, but it was with fear, so you do not gain a memory shard from that. That's but fine. It was still a success.
And I don't gain corruption either, which is really all I care about right now.
And I don't gain fear because it was a reaction roll.
Yes. So let me roll my damage.
Okay.
That's just 5. 5
okay.
Retributive damage.
Okay.
Magic damage.
Oh, that is important.
Yes.
Because if it was only 5 physical damage, she would ignore it.
Yes, it is 5 magical damage.
She ignores all physical damage that does not reach her minor threshold.
Wow.
But it's magic damage, so it still does one hit point worth of damage to her. And so what does this look like then as you see Ropo just get slammed in the back by her iron fist? What does it look like as you retributively strike her?
It's a flick of the hand, and it's like the dark red of her magic comes out of Ropo and attacks the fist.
Okay. And so as that happens and the burst of magic, erupts into basically her face, she recoils from that, and you swear she turns towards you and hisses, even though you can't really hear any sound above the chaos of the arena taking place.
Yeah, come on, come get me.
Cool. That is my activation for her, so I pass the spotlight back to you. Now, it is important to note that while you do not have to say each of you can take a turn before another, you can choose to continually, if you decide as a group to have one person act over and over and over again, it's entirely up to you. I encourage you to allow the spotlight to pass to each other, unless something story-wise says that you should take the spotlight from someone who has not gotten to take it yet. So, given that, Aya and Zach, neither of you have acted yet.
Now, Yuri was specifically waiting for this, and it's why he sent Ropo in the first place, not just to do the dirty work, which he's used to either Antar or Ropo doing, but because he needed that bit of advantage. So to flavor this the way that you allowed me to, his hand's going to hook into that circular blade and thrust it forward. It's an improved returning blade that I'm going to fire in her direction. The way I visualize this happening is bouncing off of the ground, off of the arms, and across her
Sure.
as it goes.
Let's get your attack roll in.
Absolutely.
Don't forget any disadvantages anyone might have.
Oh no, I put my disadvantages on the rolls. I'm not going to use a whole lot to start with because I have 3 of them. What happens if hope and fear are tied?
That is a critical success.
Great, I got one of those. 21.
Brilliant. So you gain a hope. If
Wonderful.
you had marked a stress, you would also clear a stress.
Right.
And you critically strike, which means that you do maximum damage plus your die roll. So what was your normal damage?
So the normal damage is 2d8 plus 3 magical. And
Okay.
the reason I was waiting was for the sneak attack, which is 2d6 additional damage.
Okay, so you're doing 2d8 plus 2d6 plus 31.
Yes.
Ew.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and roll that manually then, so I'm not confusing which dice amounts there are. So 31, 34, 38, 42, 47 magical.
Okay. So as this magical damage from your returning blade, visually, what would you like your returning blade to look like in its swirl of magic as it rips across her form?
It's circular. It's very chakram, very Tron identity disc in style. So when Yuri throws it, it bounces off the ground, off of each of the iron arms, across the throat, off of a wall, and back into his hand.
Oh, awesome. And so as that happens, it rips across her form, and like gouts of flame and bursts of lava, the form of her body cracks and ripples as these gouts fly out from her form. 2 things happen in this moment. The first of which is because she took a severe wound in that impact, she lets out a searing wail. And so everyone in the arena basically needs to make instinct reaction rolls. Danny, unfortunately for you, because you are in melee with her in this moment, you also, on top of the instinct reaction roll, need to make a agility reaction roll.
I'm good at those.
Yes?
Let's do...
I was just crossing my fingers and hoping for the best.
I thought you were holding up your hand like you had a question.
So that's a critical success.
Perfect. For your instinct reaction roll.
Do those still count even if I have disadvantage?
Yes, they still
Okay,
count even if
sweet.
you have disadvantage.
Critical success.
So critical success on your instinct reaction roll means that you succeed. Because you succeeded and did not fail, you only mark 1 stress from the searing wail. How did you do, Antar?
14 with hope.
That is a failure, but it is a failure with hope, so you don't gain a point of corruption. So you mark 2 stress. Oh no, I'm sorry. You mark 1 stress, and I gain a fear. Danny, how'd you do? Well, actually, I'll get to you in a sec. Zach, how'd you do on the instinct reaction roll?
16 with fear.
Okay. So that is a success, even if it was with fear, so you just mark a stress.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do, Danny?
Well, my instinct with was a 14 with fear.
Okay, that's a failure with
Yep.
fear. You gain a point of corruption, you mark a stress,
Yep.
and I gain a fear. And how
That's
did your
good. This is
dexterity,
good.
your agility reaction roll do?
That was a 12 with hope.
Okay, so that is a failure. You take 17 points of magical damage from the bits of lava and fire that fall on top of you. You can
So
mark armor to do something
I was gonna,
about that.
yeah. So, but we get 1 armor, or is it? I'm looking at the thing on the screen. So I have 4 armor, Then I
Yeah.
have 4 armor slots, so I can
So
use
the
an
armor
slot
slots are what you mark,
Cool.
right? And
But
so
I
you
can use those.
you can
multiple-
only mark one on any one
instance.
one instance of damage coming at
Cool.
you.
Bet. Then yeah, I'm gonna do that too. So I'll take because I did use one on the 24 because that would have been severe. Okay, cool. So we're good. A little hurt, but we're fine. Fine. Yeah, I think at this point Ropo is kind of just still remaining composed, but it gives you guys a look just like, do something about it, please.
And so as this wail erupts out of her, and all of you are just pained from that wail of fury, you see this fiery, flaming blood fall down on top of Ropo, searing Ropo's flesh. How's Ropo looking at this point?
Not great. I think at this point he's still got bits of steam and ash kind of like flowing off him from some of these impacts. Even lower than I think normally with how short he is. He's kind of got like a fist in the dirt holding himself up, but is still trying to fight through.
Okay. How many hit points do you have unmarked?
2.
You're down to 2?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I want to swivel to Antar after this and just point and just go, you're going to lay around all day and let him do all the work, or are you going to get in there?
Anta, trying to catch his breath, kind of clutches his side and goes, I'm trying, give me 1 moment.
The spotlight passes to you. Antar is the only one left to act, unless someone would like to take a turn before Antar.
Anta kind of hits his side a few times, trying to get himself back up, and gives like a quick shake of his head, trying to steel himself, and is going to go towards Ropo, kind of stand in front of him and try and attack.
Don't do anything stupid.
So you were close, got pushed away to far, which means that if you want to close in and attack, you need to make an agility reaction roll. Actually, no, I think it's an agility ability check. So it's not a reaction roll. So you can gain hope and all of that from this roll. Don't forget you have things that you can do.
Actually, I think I will use an experience.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the experience. It's showtime.
Perfect.
That is a 15 with fear.
Okay.
Actually, no, sorry. A 18 with fear.
Okay. That is a success, but it is with fear, which means that I gain a fear off of it. I am actually going to choose to spend that fear and immediately interrupt and steal the spotlight from you. You succeed. You get right up next to the Wrath Witch, standing over Ropo to protect him. And then, seeing you coming, the Wrath Witch unleashes molten chains upon you. From the wounds that were created by Yuri's blade, you see these chains of magic that rip out from her form. They seem to actually injure her as they fly out, and they lash at you. I need to see if I hit you first, I guess. Yeah. 30.
Yeah, that hits.
You need to make a strength reaction roll to avoid becoming restrained. And you're also going to take 19 points of magic damage.
I'm gonna use my scramble ability
Okay.
Which, when a creature within melee range would deal damage to you, you can avoid the attack and safely move out of melee range of the enemy.
What do you have to do to use that?
I just do it once per rest.
Ah, gotcha. That's one of those very rare things that you can use. Okay. As the chains lash out at you in your direction, you duck down out of the way and scrambling on hands and feet, getting yourself lower than even Ropo's mushroom cap. You manage to avoid the flailing lava-like chains made of her blood and scramble out of the way. That is really good call that you did there, because that would have gone very poorly for you had you not done that. That passes the spotlight back to all of you then.
Yuri's going to look to Antar scrambling back, look to Malia and just go.
Still in, Antar is still in melee range, just so you know. He just scrambled out of the way of the attack.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, still gesture, and Antar, please do jump ahead.
You see Malia like roll her eyes.
Who would like to take the spotlight?
Ropo will do it.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, don't worry, I got him. Ropo's just gonna go to kind of set himself back up and just go for another unarmed strike in the snake parts.
Okay.
All right, come on, don't fail, man. I need this. That is a 16 with fear.
Okay, I will take the fear. It is a success.
Cool, we'll take that. God, I'm so much fear. So then with that, I will use Body Basher.
Okay.
Successful attack, use a weapon, melee range. So I just add my strength to the damage.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So roll damage. So that'll be 22, so 24 damage.
Okay. 24 damage. Maybe luckily for you is not enough to be severe for her.
Okay.
It's still major damage though.
Cool.
And so you get in there and pound with as much as your little mushroom fists can. And wherever you're impacting, you see the rippling and the warping and the bending of her iron flesh underneath of the impacts. Since that was with fear, I'm going to go ahead and spend that fear to...
You don't have to.
I'm going to cause you to just mark 1 stress from the attack. And then, because you rolled that with fear, the spotlight does pass back to me. And then I am going to spend 2 fear. And I'm going to activate the next ability of her Wrath Incarnate feature, which means that everyone within close range, has to make a agility reaction roll, and anyone within very close range, which is Antar and Ropo, I get to attack.
Crazy.
Miko, we just got here.
You did. Welcome to the world of Wrath.
Cool. Well, right back at you. I got a 14 and it's critical. 6 plus 2.
Excellent. So it's a reaction roll, so you don't gain hope off of that, but you do succeed.
Do I get to remove stress or no?
No.
Okay.
Can I use an experience here to give myself a little?
As long as you spend the hope.
Well, I'm happy to spend the hope. I'm going to. Am I going to?
The good thing that was a critical for you, Zach, because it would have failed otherwise.
I don't think I'm going to, actually. We'll just see what happens.
Okay.
Well, I don't think I would have passed anyway. It's only a 7 with hope.
No, that would have still failed. But it is with hope, so you don't gain a point of corruption. You do mark 2 stress, and
Okay.
Yuri marks 1 stress, even though he succeeded. Antar, how'd you do on the reaction roll?
It's 17 with fear.
Okay, that's a success.
Okay.
And because it is a success, you don't gain a point of corruption, but you do mark a stress. How'd you do, Danny?
I got a 22 with fear.
Okay, you also mark a stress. And so
Yay.
now that's a pair of attacks, one coming at Ropo, one coming at Antar. That's a 21 to hit. So you both have 21 points of damage incoming to you, physical. As her iron limbs flail out and strike at the both of you simultaneously.
Cool. I'm going to have to use another armor slot. I don't want to die.
As am I.
Cool.
I'm gonna use my reaction again, of heinous retribution, to do damage back to her.
Okay.
Which this choice is clearly putting a great deal of strain on Malia.
How's your stress doing?
I have 6 out of 8 marked,
Okay.
but it's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Danny has 8 out of 9 hit points marked, so...
I am gonna
Starting
spend a
off
hope
great.
to use frontliner again.
Okay.
So that is my spell casting. Frontliner. Actually, GM, instead of using my experience and spending a hope, I would like to spend a favor to use one of my patrons' spheres of influence.
All right.
And
What-
I'd like to use the sphere Fury.
I think that is appropriate. Would you like to describe for us what this looks like, then?
It's like Malia is a beacon for a moment. There is this bright light that comes off of her in a wave, not dissimilar to when she cast Terrify, but it's dense and a bit suffocating. And it feels hot and burning, and it makes your skin tingle as this wave sort of rolls over the two of you now that you've been hit. So, yes. Gosh, okay. So the spheres of influence start with a +2, and then every time you level up, you get an additional 1. So it's now a +4 bonus. Or
No, it's 5.
starts with +5 bonus.
Yeah, because you're level 4, so it's 5.
Yippee! So 5 + 2 is 7. Okay. Surely I hit.
What'd you get?
That's a 21 with fear.
Okay. It's a reaction roll, though, so the fear doesn't count in this specific
Phenomenal.
case because you succeeded. So you get to do this damage then.
Yeah, let me do this. That is 4 magical damage again.
Okay. Because it's magical damage, it does injure her. So just so you guys know at this point, her form is looking racked. There are splits in her body. There are oozes of lava that seem to sear and melt the iron of her flesh down her body as she has been impacted by these things, but she doesn't care. There is no concept of self-preservation when you have been consumed by wrath and remade in the image of fury at the behest of the Scourge Tyrant. And so, as this magical burst of pain emanates from Malia, channeling the Scourge Tyrant herself into that act, all you see is defiance and will coming from this rat witch.
I go so tired of you.
And that's going to pass the spotlight back to all of you, because all of that happened on my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I think Yuri is going to goad Antar on, just be like, finish the job, kid.
This is your mess.
We're all in this together.
Are we? I hurt. Please, someone hit it.
Don't worry. Listen to the crowd. Watch this. And Antar is going to stupidly try and attack again with all his might.
You mean for the first time? Because he's not gotten to attack yet.
Well, yes.
He has tried multiple times.
Yes.
Yes. And I think I'm gonna use my reckless ability, so I'm gonna mark a stress to gain advantage on the attack.
Okay.
Okay. That's a crit.
Nice.
Okay.
Very well done. So what is your normal damage on this strike then?
Oh my. I'm gonna be using my broadsword for this.
Mm-hmm.
So. It's a 10.
No. What is your normal roll for your damage?
What do you mean by that? I'm so sorry.
What's the die? What's the die thing that you roll?
What are the dice that you would be rolling?
2d8 plus 10 physical.
2d8 plus 10 physical damage?
Yes.
That's intense.
Wow. So, yeah, in this case then, it's going to be 2d8 plus 26.
Okay.
Because of the crit.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and actually, that number gets increased by... Oh, wait, no, that's got to be factored in. Okay. The reason that it's plus 10 is because you also have a short sword as your secondary weapon.
Yeah.
That's why it's so high. Yeah, that makes sense now.
So,
and also don't forget...
that?
Pardon?
How many times do I roll that?
You just roll 2d8 plus 16. Just roll 2d8 and then add 16 to it. And don't forget, you get to re-roll any 1s and 2s because of your not good enough ability.
16 or 26?
26, sorry. If I said 16, that was a mistake.
21.
21 plus 26?
I did not good math.
No,
Wait,
no.
Well,
No, that doesn't...
47?
No. She can't get 21 on 2d6 or 2d8s.
Right.
What'd you get on the dice? What'd you get on the 2d8s?
12.
Okay. So it's 38 points of damage.
38. There you go.
Just so you
We're
know.
going up, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. We're all still figuring this stuff out. This is the first time that you're playing these characters anyway, so it's all good. Just so you know, her severe threshold is 30. So you do severe damage to her, of which she only had 3 hit points left.
Yo.
I told him to finish it.
What does this look like then, Aya, as Antar gets to finish this manifestation of the Scourge Tyrant? Someone who has been given over fully. So you guys know, this is the kind of thing that happens when you reach 18 points of corruption.
Okay. I think Antar would take his short sword and kind of do the first initial stab into the body of this snake part and kind of use that as a little bit of momentum to kind of like push himself up and try and slice the head off. Go for the head.
Absolutely. The head slices clean off, goes flying across the arena. The crowd erupts with fury, not joy per se, but erupts from that phenomenal display of death in the name of the Scourge Tyrant. Somewhere within Morvain Kroll, there is an entity that laments what just happened. But that is not what is happening here in this arena. As the body of this woman, this Wrath Witch, falls to your feet, Danny, just for flavor, I'm going to say narrowly avoids crushing Ropo from the impact. You are sprayed with a splatter of the volcanic blood that existed within her, searing you just a little bit more. And Antar stands on top of the form of this woman, to the sounds of the crowd chanting, "Wrath, wrath, wrath, wrath." In that moment, Antar has to play a part. It's to be that person that always is what they have been their whole life. But Aya, if you could, please describe for us inside what is going on in the soul of Antar as they know that this is all a lie. How does Asilla feel in this moment?
The cacophony of the crowd chanting wrath over and over again kind of like lulls into this very muted buzz in the ears, and there's like a sagging of shoulders very slightly, and there's a feeling of heaviness in the core and just a sudden annoyance at it all, but very brief, as the act must go on.
As that act must go on, the rest of you all know this as well, and so each of you reacts in a similar enough fashion, very likely with your own personal affectations of who that person is to this crowd, Malia, Ropo, Yuri, but also inside. Aelin, Vaughn, Uriel. That difference creates a dissonance within you. All of you gain a point of corruption as the gaze of the Scourge Tyrant falls upon the arena. Crowd falls to a hush. The chants of wrath end, and everyone looks up into the skies. It isn't too far up where the clouds and mist of ash from the volcanic core of this tower coalesce underneath of the next tier of its structure, and within that coalesced ash, face emerges. Scourge Tyrant looks down, not with pride, not with joy, but with pure fear. After a moment, it dissipates. You all feel the weight lift off of your shoulders, even though there is still a heaviness within your chest. And the barred gates that held you within this arena open. You know that you are allowed to leave at this point. You know that you are allowed to go and take joy from what you have done here. take joy in the fact that you have survived, that you have lived on, that you have pressed yourselves through the torment and the pain, survived and honored the Scourge Tyrant in doing so. The four of you have done this now half a dozen times at least since your awakening. You keep getting caught in a moment, in something that causes you to question the world, to question what you know, to question what you see, to question yourselves. Every time, it brings about more pain. Not always like this. Sometimes it's as simple as another denizen of Morvain Kroll not liking what you said. A slip of the tongue, perhaps, or an errant eye, an expression that should not happen. You keep doing them. You can't help it. Being awakened now for these many, many weeks, surviving in this place, it is exhausting. And yet, you continue to prove that you can survive it, however injurious it might be to do so. Somewhere within this Sin Lord forsaken place, you have a small enclave, a small sanctuary. A place that you can at least feel for a fleeting moment as though the weight does not push as heavily upon you. Malia, where is that place?
This place is not unlike many of the other places here, being that this is a volcano, essentially. There are many crevices and cracks in the walls which give way to spacious caverns and rooms, many of which have been occupied for a long time by other people. There have been many fights over some of the more well-located cracks in the walls. One way in, one way out. It's very easily defendable. People seem to like them quite a bit. It's certainly better than a tent or anything made from fabric, which can be easily torn down. We found ourselves our own little hidden crevasse, as it were, a bit away from the action, through what could be called a series of tunnels that only we know the way through.
As you make your way through Morvain Kroll, away from the arena, more than a few approach you, slap on the back, word, praise. You maintain the illusions that they mean something to you as best you can. But by the time you reach this sanctuary, this crack in the wall where the heat rises to what anyone else in the world would feel uncomfortable degrees, as that heat hits you, it feels comforting in a way. And each of you collapses into your space within. You've carved out your own little alcoves to it, of course, and you can describe those however you wish. But this one space, for the moment, is yours. As you feel this exhaustion hitting you, before I pass the spotlight back to all of you to decide what you would say and what you would do, Tot, I will add that Leah feels this drain, not just physically, where Antar and Ropo took so much of the brunt of the physicality of things. Yours weighed upon your soul. How many favors do you have remaining?
1.
Dare you use it? Was using this one worth doing so? These are the thoughts that I feel must sit upon you as I pass the spotlight to all of you in this moment.
I think as we enter into the area and flop down, Yuri will say, as he has said countless times before, you know, Malia, I could have talked to my guy and gotten us someplace with maybe a bit more structure to it, right? I mean, I'm great for the place, but you know, I can get us something a little bit more ideally located.
Because the guys you know are so immensely trustworthy.
They've always gotten the job done before.
But not just for you, right? To anyone who pays. I'd rather not broadcast where we spend the night.
Suit yourself. It's a lovely cave.
I personally like it a lot. As you see Ropo, there's a little, almost like a little flower bed that's just dirt and ash, and a very simple kind of mound that looks like almost a recliner type shape that curves down. Ropo's kind of flopped himself inside of it. He's like, it's nice and cold in here.
Antar kind of rotates his shoulder and kind of comments, well, it's better than the arena.
Everything's
And yet,
better than the arena.
you put us there so very often.
Oh, come on. We did well. Did we not? I took its head.
Yes, after getting thrown across it and spending half of the match on your ass.
Ropo nearly got cut half his size.
Yeah, it's tiny. I need you to stay up with me more, please.
The Ropo is fine. Think of the crowd, that cheering. That felt amazing, did it not?
As per usual, I know what matters to you.
You all are impossible.
Yeah, impossible. Yeah, I'll sorry, I'm still trying to get some of my hearing back after all the ringing of getting thrown around because you weren't necessarily up helping me. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Did I not take its head?
At the end, yeah, it was very nice for you to show up when I was almost dead. Yeah.
Look at the amazing scar you have. I like it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's added to the collection, I guess.
We're alive, are we not?
I guess. Barely.
If you call this living.
At least we're not headless.
Are those the only two options there, Antar?
For me? Yes. For you all?
You're thinking too small. I've always told you this. You're thinking too small. You're thinking win and loss. It makes sense. It's the world you grew up in. But there's gradients to this. It's not just do or don't. You can actually navigate this in a better way. It doesn't involve throwing yourself face first into it, though you do it so well.
I know. And for the record, the arena is a circle.
Well, you got me there.
Look, Antar, you know, I think as he rolls over to look over you, and I was like, you know, I'll fight to the death for you guys. I just don't want to always have to. I'm tired sometimes. So maybe let's just, as much of a break as we can get here, just for a little bit, before we go kill another snake lady. That'd be really cool for me.
By all means.
I've offered time and time again, I'm more than happy to utilize my connections to get us something, a different path, a different avenue that we can use. I know that they're not very scrupulous to some of you, but they're still available. Doesn't necessarily involve fighting all the time.
And what would you suggest?
I can talk to my man Bourdain. We can see what he's got going on. He owes me a favor once I can find the man, but it gives us a different path. Maybe something we can actually do that feels worthwhile instead of just running in place. Something that gets us out of the cave and into something a bit more useful.
Useful.
A bit more worthy.
Worthy.
I do like worthy. That does sound better than this.
This. Look around us. Look at where we are. If we want to live, there's only one path. They will know that we are changed, that we are different. They will kill us. Not all of us have the luxury of thinking about leaving this place.
At the mention of killing you, Leah, Antar, since your arrival back here, since the pulsing of adrenaline that is still writhing within you from that contest had not gone away, something about the mention death, killing them, from Aaliyah sparks within you. The adrenaline disappears. For a moment, Antar disappears. Please describe for us a memory from Asilla that involves Aelin, that completely consumes Antar in this moment.
There is a very strange sensation that Asila is now feeling. Almost nausea as her pupils kind of adjust to the surroundings. And then there's a bright color of crimson that is visible within her vision. And it's on her hand. And she could have sworn that she would never wear gloves, especially this color. And she turns her hand multiple times before realizing the scene before her. There is an individual right beneath her. She's kneeling before them. The color is fading quickly. And there's this constant rhythm within her now rising as her heartbeat goes thump 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 thump. What is this? What is wrong? And then her vision goes up to the face, and realization hits at who is being held by her in this moment. Life fading quickly. No. This is not right. No. What? No.
It's okay. Hey, it's not.
Oh, no.
It's not.
What?
I didn't mean to.
What happened? What? Who did this to you? What is going on?
Oh, my love. Oh, just don't. Just keep looking at me. Okay,
Comrades. And as Asila turns her her gaze away, searching for her other party members. She sees them, color drained as well, lifeless, and a sinking dread hits Asila. I did this. I did. I am the one that did it. No. I did this. Why me? No. Not you all. No.
It's not your fault. It's not. You didn't mean to.
You cannot go. You cannot go. I can fix this. I can fix this. Yes. Of course.
Just hold me.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Everything is fine. I will find others. I will do something. Why me?
My love, won't you sing me one last song? Just, please.
Yeah, Elbe, of course. My heart, of course. I can do that. I can sing. Of course. I can sing a song. I am Asila, the bard. I am a troubadour. I can't.
The breathing stopped.
In that moment, Malia, you see Antar's expression, their facial features change. No longer that vigor, that revel of Antar. It is replaced with a familiar pain and sadness. Not familiar to Malia, of course. Familiar to the part inside of her that knows. And as Antar kind of crumples underneath the weight of that memory, Ropo and Yuri, you also are familiar with these memories and how they work, and sometimes, particularly after moments of great stress or trauma, they can be quite debilitating. You've lost Antar for the moment. You know he'll recover. The question is how much of him will come back. How much of it will be Scylla versus Antar. And as this turmoil you wrestle with internally, what will happen to you when the next memory strikes? What kind of frustration are you feeling? And I'm going to pass the spotlight to you, Danny, for Ropo especially, because Ropo's birth was one of trauma. And yet, this Vaughn, this other person that is within Ropo, has taken some amount of hold. Has Vaughn helped Ropo with that trauma? Or has he only made it worse?
I think in both respects, Vaughn has helped and hurt Ropo and his stability. I think as we look back at the fight and watch Ropo barely able to stand up, there was this pit in his stomach that was so ready to dive back into this feral mindset and just start lashing out and destroying. But I think Vaughn's encouragement and ability to find calmness inside of Ropo himself, I think kept him stable, but also almost put him on this leash, almost like a crutch, where feeling the security of a team of partners, of some would consider friends, he had some support behind him, which I think is what kept him stable. But as he looks around and sees Antar losing it, what is going to happen now after seeing the encounter we just went through, and most of us make it out fairly unscathed, how much longer will the party be here? How much longer will Ropo have someone to depend on? And if that happens again and Ropo's alone, will he have that same strength to not lose all control and lash out again?
And Zach, what is this turmoil for Yuri versus Uriel?
Yuri has done his best to keep moving forward in spite of what he now knows in this change. The life that he knows made sense. The connections that he made sense. The way in which he's conducted things makes sense. And yet, throughout the entire fight, and even right now looking at Antar struggling, the others looking on, there's this presence over Yuri's shoulder. This voice that only they can hear, that echoes like singing ice. It just tells Yuri, it could have been you. You could have been the one to protect them. You could have been the one to step forward. You could be their shield. It could be you. It's a voice he's grown very used to. This particular prompting, particular push for a approach that is very unfamiliar to him, but apparently at one point was everything he knew.
In a moment, I'm going to allow for this opportunity for all of you to take a short rest, should you so choose. You cannot take a long rest. One important distinguishing thing that we need to make reference to in this game is, even if you sleep, that doesn't mean you rested. Even if you traveled some long distance and took a moment to take food or beverage, that doesn't mean that you rested. It just means that you survived. And only in particular places of sanctuary are you able to rest. And particularly in Morvain Crawl, you have not found one in which you can truly rest, meaning long rest. This small space, this small, tiny sanctuary of your own that allows you to get a brief moment of respite, not quite feel as much of the oppression of the Scourge Tyrant, has been good enough for now. But it will not sustain. What is everyone's current corruption at after that encounter?
7.
7.
6.
11.
You still are not unable to clear that corruption, even with a short rest. You can find a better place. Maybe. Maybe you can start to feel something other than this buildup of torment, wrath within you. But for now, all you can really do is bind your physical wounds and try try to remove some of the burden from your mind, even if it cannot be removed from your soul. But with this respite, you have a choice to make.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to give favor to the tyrant? You are vastly depleted on your resources, on your gifts, your favors. What is going through Malia's mind in this point as this rest finds all of you?
Malia hurts constantly. There is a pain in her that feels impossible to be rid of. She can't remember what it was like to be without this pain, but since the change, it's like it's gotten worse. Maybe it's this other person rejecting the reality of who she is, but it's hard. Seeing Antar like this is hard. There was a time in her life when she would have just abandoned these people. Being with them, close to them, attached, makes her vulnerable. It makes her weak. Or at least that's what she thought. Part of her still believes it. But the other part, the part that is new, wants to be around these people and is comforted by that and wants to be useful. So, yes, Malia will tithe to her patron. How ironic it is that the one who gives her the power to protect the people she has grown to care for is also the one who puts them in harm's way every single day.
As I had described before, everyone has their own little space within this tiny sanctuary. What does Malia's look like, and how does she tithe?
Malia's is directly across the cavern from Antar's. She'll say it's that so she can be as far away from them as physically possible in a given space, but really it's so that if she turns over in bed, she can still see them there breathing. Her little cavern is barren. There's nothing really of personal affection for her. It's all trophies. Things she's taken from the people who have decided that they would try their luck with her that day and then failed. There are rings and necklaces and signets, and so many of them are in honor of her patron anyway. She will be in the presence of these items that she has taken because of her patron. Not in worship. She is no cleric. This is not worship. It is a deal of sorts. So she tithes by giving her patron offerings, and these offerings are in the form of these trinkets. She'll pick one and she'll use her magic to change it, to melt it down, to turn it into something else in honor of the Scourge Tyrant.
Each tithe that she offers, each trinket that she consumes, causes anger to rise within her, furthers that wrath she knows has to exist in order to continue to use these cursed gifts, these things that help her and her companions survive.
Indeed.
So you can take your short rests now. Each of you gets 2 downtime moves to use, whether it be recovering health, clearing stress, repairing armor. There's also the option of gaining hope. If any 2 of you work together for that purpose, you each gain double that hope. But you're limited on what you can do. I also gain fear. And so while you all are trying to decide which actions you will take, I will let you know that I just gained 4 fear. Bringing my total to 8.
So did I not give you enough? Are you good? Or
are you happy now?
Total to 8. So I would tell you now, choose well.
Okay. Well, tithing counts as one of my downtime actions. So I'm going to use my other one to clear my stress, or attempt to clear as much of my stress as possible. Which, ironically enough, takes form in her, like, walking over to Antar, who is crumpled because of this memory, and, like, helping them up and taking them to their little cot and, like, sitting them down and just making them breathe. It's interesting how taking care of other people can make her feel better now. I cleared 5 stress. That's really great.
Good call.
One of mine I want to clear stress, which I only had 2. It'll be pretty easy for me to clear that. Ropo, are you interested in seeing what goes into gaining hope in this?
I was really effed up and used a lot of armor, unfortunately.
In which case, I mean, I figured I would offer because of that whole double up thing and because it seems that Malia and Antar are doing something, but I'm happy to run that solo if it comes to it.
I see. Give it a solo this time. Remind me next time after I
Sounds
didn't
good.
get my ass beat.
Sounds good. So
what
I'll
about
clear my stress and try for hope, whatever that entails.
Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. Io, what are you choosing to do for your downtime actions?
I think I'm gonna repair armor and maybe clear stress.
Not health?
I take that back. A health.
Now, each of you should have some form of a potion as well, so keep that in mind. And I think some of you got health potions, some of you got stamina. So just keep that in mind. And so, Yuri, with this action to gain a hope, what does that look like to you? What do you feel like in this forsaken place. What does it feel like makes the most sense then for Yuri to try and find some way to prepare themselves for the path ahead?
I think that the conversation that Yuri began to have with the others before things stalled out, sitting in their mind, about another way, something that feels more worthy, another way forward, and tying all the way into a different locale, a different direction. Yuri's space is full of many loose things. One of the things it's full of is flags and banners that he has taken from a variety of places. The first one from Lightburn Academy, the orphanage that he grew up in. Most recent one is one that he probably grabbed from the arena that they just came from. Little trophies here and there. But the other thing it's full of is maps. It's how he stays so well connected in this place. He knows this place. And so the way I want to gain hope is by planning where we're going next and who we're talking to get something more than just fighting for our lives.
You gain a hope from that. How did everybody do as far as clearing health and fixing armor and stress and all of that? Everybody feel okay with it?
It's like
For
nothing
now.
even happened to Ropo. We're brand spanking new.
You should still be somewhat hurt, I believe.
When with the roll combined with the tears, it looks like it cleared everything. So I got a 4 on my D4 plus the 2. Yeah.
All right. As
Terrible
you,
little guy.
tough little guy.
Yeah. Just kind of sat in his corner, maybe drew a curtain to make it dark and maybe a little more dank than he preferred, and just kind of situates himself in his soil and just meditates with that. Just be like, I'm taking a nap. Don't worry about me. I'll be good.
In this portion of the Kroll Spire, where your little sanctuary is, you can feel the heat continuously, of course, but you can also hear the heartbeat of this place. And at least that's the way it is described to you. Realistically, the Crucible Warrens are a labyrinth of chambers, smelteries, forges. This laboring cast of a significant number of clanks, actually, that call it home. So in the quiet of your rest, in the solace of your rest, you hear it. You feel it. This place that is not far off. Zach, as Yuri is looking through maps and furiously trying to contemplate where they might be able to go, you know that there's not a lot to escape to. You could maybe take an outing into the surrounding wildlands, maybe participate in a great hunt. Only about 1 in 4 great hunts everyone returns from. So if you did go, the notion that you might not come back wouldn't go really that noticed. That would be the easiest, I guess, if you wanted to cover your tracks. The wildlands are a dangerous place.
They
Do
are.
you consider the ash farms maybe a place you could find something? Do you think about maybe going along one of the chains? Prisons that exist at the end of them that feed a steady stream of resources harvested from the depths of the ground and returned to the crawl spire through those chains themselves. Each one of those offers its own dangers, its own threats. None of these options are appealing, of course. But you know that you can't stay in the Kroll Spire much longer. Please describe for us what your sin scar looks like. What is it that you currently have covered up by your fanciful garb that you are hiding from your companions that you know is going to drive you wrathfully insane soon enough?
Right along the spine is a loose spiral of a gash in the charred, lava-like skin of this emberkin. Glows with a dull color, unmatching the burning tone of everything else. It's like a sinking in the skin. It's like a pit that's trying to pull Yuri in with it. And it weighs on his back just as much as this voice weighs on his shoulder, taking him in the opposite direction. As to your thoughts of where to go, you're right, all of these seem like terrible options. And I think that Yuri's idea is probably a worse option, because his idea isn't about getting out of here. It's about doing something that feels more worthy. And quite frankly, as I mentioned very early on, Yuri likes what he is, what he has built, who he has become. And making something of that involves being in here, but it involves change. It involves going against the system. So maybe if he can put these three in front of the right people, we can do something more interesting and more worthy than just getting our faces beat in day after day. Just stick it to the scourge.
In the time since you have become awakened, life has certainly gotten more interesting for Yuri, although it was not uninteresting before, of course. Yuri suffered a lot at various points, being accused of greed, particularly, on many an occasion. But there is that one person, that one contact that he made a while ago, that he knows could be useful. You see, there's a particular clank here in this district. One that looks like all of the rest, for certain, in their molten, iron-red bodies. They push out gouts of hot steam, ash from the furnaces that are their cores. And yet, Yuri knows that's a facade. Yuri knows that that clank is not Wrath. Yuri knows that that particular clank was born in the golden mines of greed, far to the east, beyond the dead walls and the ashen plains. Just maybe, that's the opportunity. Just maybe, you can't wait any longer. You can't put it off more than you already have. Because you can feel its wrath building within you every day. And it's getting harder and harder for you to resist the pull of the tyrant. So as everyone finishes their rests, I would like for Malia, Antar, Ropo, for the three of you, please, to roll instinct rolls. This is to see if you can perceive the change now in Yuri with this rising of corruption.
I'm gonna spend a hope to use my experience, eyes like daggers.
Love it.
What's a 13 with hope?
Okay. You gain your hope back. Antar, Ropo.
Robo got a 19 with hope.
Gain a hope.
Do I get a
from that.
memory shard as well because I used an experience?
You did. So you do. How'd you do, Aya?
Hunter got a 11 with fear.
That brings me to 9 fear. Thankfully, it was not a reaction roll, otherwise you would gain a point of corruption from that.
Yeah, thankfully.
For Ropo and Malia, as however much time passes for your rest, however many hours that might have taken for you all to feel recovered, and you bring yourselves out of your little tiny space within this sanctuary, please use your awareness that something is eating away at Yuri to color your interactions as I pass the spotlight back to all of you.
Malia, I think Ropo will look over at you first to see if anyone else in the room acknowledged, and I think after seeing that you do, decides like, Yuri, you feeling all right, bud?
Absolutely golden, Ropo. How are you doing?
Oh, better. Fine. You seem grouchier than usual. Less, I don't know. You're usually always like that. You sure you're okay?
I will be once we actually land on doing something that's not just the same cycle of getting punched.
Is that all?
Well, no, of course, that's not all. I mentioned earlier that contact of mine, Bourdain.
Yes.
And it's not just somebody that can help us get a nicer place than this. This is somebody that can maybe actually get us a proper direction. They're a little hard to find, but once I find them, they owe me.
Okay.
And I really think that we can do something with that. We've been using the skills that you all are good at, and it's been doing fine, but Malia, it's not living, it's surviving. Let me use mine. Let us live a bit.
Malia, I think he might have a point. I think there's a lot of room for us to swing at things and blast things, and if Yuri could do anything to make our life a little less hectic, maybe we should give it a shot.
And what do you think about this little plan, Antar?
Me? I don't know. Perhaps we could... You said you need to find him?
He hides out among a bunch of others. He blends in really well. So I have to actually go there and get him.
All right. Well, since all of you seem keen, I'm not going to stop you from doing this. But if it blows up in our faces, then I will be sure to haunt you again.
At least we'll still be together, right?
Sure. Together.
Together, okay. Then Yuri, I guess, do you want to go find your guy? Should we go find your guy? I don't know how inconspicuous want us to be for this whole
I have
thing.
no idea what he looks like.
That's kind of the point, actually. I'm more than happy to go take a walk if you all want to hole up in here. If you'd like to come along, see the wonderful sights of our beloved city and all it has to offer.
I am curious, and I would like to not see you go alone, so I'll tag along if you don't mind.
GM
If both
above
of you
the
are
table.
going, then I'm going as well.
Great. GM above the table, is this something that Yuri would know, like, is a good or bad idea to have people coming with him?
It is never a bad idea to have friends in a place that at any given moment someone could challenge you. And
Reasonable.
you have to fight until you cannot pick yourself up off of the ground anymore.
Well, if all of you are going, not enough people cheered for me walking by, so I guess I'll go.
Perfect. Well then, how's about we take a walk?
Lead the
As-
way.
As you exit your hovel of the sanctuary, you disappear through a handful of a myriad twisting paths through this place, this warren. There are people here, for sure. Many people, in fact, but that is now something that troubles you. Perhaps it didn't before, maybe you just didn't notice before, maybe you didn't care before, but since your awakening, since these new experiences have manifested within you, since you see things now from a different perspective, you cannot help but see the plight of so many of those stuck in these warrens. So many of these people within this laboring caste that have no chance of ever escaping it. These people that literally have no hope. But more than that, the notion that they don't even know it. The notion that to them, This is life. This is all life will ever be. As you make your way through this crucible, this labyrinth, this place of immense heat, you feel the torment of it. You feel this siphoning of life that occurs. You can't help but see, particularly I think Yuri, how many of these individuals bear a sin scar. Whether it be a section of their face that cannot heal, or an arm that is so mangled from fighting or from injury that it barely functional. Whatever it manifests as, you see so many scarred individuals. And the clanks that you see bear those scars more than anyone else, because no one even tries to repair them. Not even each other. In the upper levels, in the iron markets, or the bastion of flesh in particular, healing is a necessity. Healing is part of sacrifice that you make. The pain that you endure from healing is testament to the Scourge Lord. It is a power, not only a manifestation for them, but also for you. And yet down here, scars are so heavy. They cannot be healed. As you are moving through this space, I'm going to spend a great deal of fear. 5 points, in fact. Each of you must choose between marking 2 stress or 2 hit points in whatever combination you choose. As you fight and struggle against the corruption of seeing and bearing witness to all of this. Maybe you use a blade dug into your palm to help distract you from the pain inside, substituting the physical for the mental. Maybe you grit your teeth through it all and just try your best to push that trauma away. You all bear it in different ways. And then I need for each of you to please make a presence reaction roll to resist the corruption of it. The difficulty on this is 15.
I got a 14 with fear.
I got a 17 with hope.
I got a 13 with hope.
Okay.
15 with hope.
So for Yuri and Malia, that is a success at resisting the corruption. But you do mark 1 stress from it. For Antar and Ropo. Antar, you take 1 point of corruption. Ropo, you take 2.
Damn it.
Where does that put everyone for corruption now?
That puts Ropo at 9.
Still at 11.
Still at 7.
Just got to 7.
Danny, what 3 traits do you have marked?
Currently, it's knowledge, finesse, and now
Presence, because that was the reaction roll that you had to make.
presence. Yep. Exactly.
Given that context of this being the more mental side of you, how does your form manifest the sin scar that you now have?
I think as Ropo is witnessing everything, doing what he can to kind of shield his eyes from it as he holds his mushroom cap, I think the scar that is on top of his head kind of starts to seep out this like purple, not even so much ooze, just like it almost changes from the black that it is to more crackled, almost lightning strike. Yeah, purple that's oozing out and seeping around the cap, almost like just flared out. And underneath the white that is normally just the entire thing takes that similar color as these veins underneath kind of start to glow a little bit, almost this like bioluminescence that's taking place just above his head. Anyone looking at him at the moment would kind of just see this little like light, almost like a little lampshade is just kind of filling in with just a very dim purple as he continues to walk forward.
Ropo, when you look down at your bandaged hands, the wraps that came from that individual that had been thrown into your fungal pit on which you and the rest of your people grew, and then fought each other to survive. They've always been stained with blood, but that dark brown stain that has existed on them for so long now turns bright crimson. Only you can see that. You see this blood on your hands, and it is a blood that, for the moment anyway, you feel will never go away. You hear the screams in your head, these echoing, horrifying screams of pain and agony across the mycelial network. Thousands fungal, living in torment and pain. You thought you knew pain before. You are only now realizing that you barely understood what true pain was. As you all continue to make your way through the Crucible Warrens, seeing these people, feeling the torment, feeling how it affects you, you arrive at the forges, or at least the central column that branches off into a dozen different directions where all of the forges lie. This pillar of lava that seems to resist physical laws, that rises through the Kroll Spire. A lattice of glass traced with obsidian that seems to contain it and channel it upward until at some point it reaches all the way up to the throne upon which the Scourge Tyrant sits. You stand at the base of this, or effectively the base of it, and you look in all directions for which forge this ally of Yuri's might be. And again, just to reiterate, there are thousands of people in proximity to you. There you stand in front of this glowing pillar, staring into the heavens, basically, for all it feels like. And as you lower your gaze to start trying to figure out what direction to go, all of you cannot help but notice a figure standing at not more than 20-25 feet in front of you. Long black robes, hood draped so low that you cannot see anything but shadow. Tall form, perhaps 10, 12 feet in height, but still somewhat live underneath of this robe. Their shoulders narrow, their arms long, elongated such that their hands stretch almost to their kneecaps. The fingers easily 6-7 inches per segment. And this elongated form of this figure simply stands there and regards you. And you know that they are not born wrath. And that's where we're going to conclude our adventure today, ladies and gentlemen.